Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our January Lunch and Learn. I'm Anthony Emerald from the Education Committee. Today we have Denise Mann, who's going to do some tax information for us, which is the perfect time of year with everything coming up. I got to be louder, apparently, which no one ever tells me to do. Our sponsor for the day is Stephanie Robinson of Be Organized. She's going to come up and speak about her company and what she's able to do. Stephanie? You get to do a commercial.
Oh, okay.
Take 2 minutes talking about it.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Robinson. I'm the owner of Be Organized, Rhode Island. We are a franchise, but we're the only ones in the Northeast. So I'm kind of working on a few people to sign up in Connecticut and Massachusetts because I want my own buddy up here. But we do home organization. We do life transition services and concierge services. Those are our 3 lines of service. Mainly for realtors, if you guys would utilize us in our life transitions. We pack and unpack for moves. We do move management. The only thing we really don't do is like the heavy lifting and moving the trucks. So if you guys ever need us for anything like that, you can hire us on the Rhode Island end. And then we have 23 markets now. So if you have someone moving out of state, we would be happy to help on the other end as well.
Thank you. Stephanie has some handouts over here on the table for anybody who's going on this table up front, right here, so please take from that. Thank you very much for your sponsorship as well. Without further ado, our class speaker, whose eyes are giant right now, Denise Mann.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Denise. I am from Rhode Island School of Real Estate, and I also am from Halloran and Associates out of Groton, Connecticut. I'm one of their staff accountants, and also do bookkeeping in my spare time. So today we're going to touch base on, as Anthony said, it's a perfect time of year to talk about tax prep. A lot of us just either write things down or we hold on to our receipts, and at the end of the year we're scrambling to get ourselves organized and usually not getting our information to our accountants in an adequate time, and we're all just stressing out. So I'm here to tell you there's nothing to be afraid of. There's many different ways to keep track of your expenses as a realtor. Super easy. We all receive information from RIAR or Ken Washington for all of our dues that have come. I keep mine in a folder, save it as a PDF, and I have a certain folder for them, and I keep everything there. I write things down on a monthly basis, and then at the end of the end of the year, I do it at the end of the year. I don't do it on a monthly basis. I put everything together and I hand it to the account. So today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Excel spreadsheet, how it can be useful to you, what it's used for, and we're going to talk about the things that we need to do, the things that you can write off, the things that are appropriate for a tax accountant to utilize on your taxes each and every year, and to have everything in on time. So, realtors excel at tax preparation. The usefulness of an Excel spreadsheet, question and answers. Stop me at any time, feel free. And using an Excel spreadsheet is actually a very easy way to keep track of your incomes, your expenses, and the data that you put in produces your financial output that leaves it easier for your accountant to manage. I was just talking to Stephanie, and I do have a client who's a hairdresser, and what she does is she keeps a notebook because she's not good at Excel and she doesn't want to learn it. She's a little bit older, but what she does is her notebook is set up on a daily basis, whatever income she brought in, and then whatever expenses she had during the course of the day. At the end of the year, she hands that in to me, and I punch everything into the system and create a profit and loss statement for her. And that way, that gets all put into our UltraTax at the accountant's office, and then she's all set to go. And that's her way of doing it. Some people, that's their preference. Other people, like my friend Bill, everything is on a spreadsheet. I've never met a person who's more organized on his finances and his expenses. And coming from somebody who does it for a living, but he does it really well. So, oops, I plugged in an extra sheet that's not in here. So first off, I want to talk about tax deductions for real estate agents. Things that you can and cannot write off. You can write off your licenses and fees, renewals, your professional memberships, and your MLS dues. Your business E&O, health premium insurances, those can be written off if you do not have your health premium insurances. If it's a pre-tax item, it is not deductible. But your premiums through your employer or your spouse are also not deductible. But if something is coming out of your pocket and you're paying directly and it's not a pre-tax item, yes, you can write off your health benefits. Your commissions paid are to be placed in there. Your productivity software, your business accounting, your lead generation, your software that you may need, mileage and expense tracking. Some people choose to use on mileage and expense tracking. Some people use spreadsheets. Other people use apps. You do use an app? Is it easy?
Yeah, my like you. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah? I have to start using that because the other way I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good, those will work for you too as well. As
That's-
you drive,
that's
you
the
automatically
other
do
side.
it, and you do
Mile
a
IQ.
recurring thing, you'll know what it is. and
Oh, I
that's
can
what
talk
it
to you
is.
guys.
How expensive is
I'm
it?
horrible at
It's
that.
like $55 for the year, something like that, right? It's not that expensive, is it?
Which you can then use
I thought
that
I just
as a
renewed it.
service, write it off.
But it does it automatically, so then I don't even like it.
Correct.
But it's not that, maybe it's not $99 a year.
I like you.
No, it's not that expensive.
So your tax software and more are also, that's all your productivity to keep you operating. That is also something that you can write off. Your property marketing.
No, it is? Oh, I didn't see it.
Your property marketing is a write-off, it's an expense. Your desk fees. Now, we're gonna go into desk fees right now. You can write off desk fees, but if you're not at a desk or in a company working and paying those desk fees, we're gonna talk about your office, your home office in a little bit. Education and training, conferences and conventions, your office supplies, excessive healthcare expenses, but they have to exceed 7.5% of your gross income. Example, if you had $45,000 in medical expenses, over $3,375 would be deductible. Oh, I'm sorry, if you had made $45,000 in gross income, your medical expenses would be, you have to, in order to deduct, they have to be over $3,375. Your phone bill, a dedicated landline can be fully deducted. Business percentage of your cell phone, using your bill to track the percent of business phone usage. I'm sure not many of us do that or utilize that. We all just throw our full phone bills at our tax accountant and figure they can figure it out. But there is a certain percentage, whatever you're using for your cell phones, you can write off part of it. It's usually about 20%. Business meals. Everybody goes nuts on business meals. Yep, I'm going out, write it off, it's on the business, it's on the business. Quite frankly, you're only getting 50% of that. They only take half of what you spend. And then at that, you get 20% of that. So, think about that before you go spending frivolously on your meals. That's just one thing.
You only get 20% of 50%?
Basically,
No,
yeah. Your mileage and auto deductions, the IRS mileage rate is 62.5%. Those miles driven really do add up, and like I said, there are apps for that. Your home office deductions, if you do not have desk fees or work for a company. Caveat is the home office must be used exclusively or primarily for your business. And the square footage of your home office cannot be more than 300 square feet. So to simplify calculation of that is $5 multiplied by the square footage of up to the 300 square footage. Regular calculation, calculate the percentage of your home office. It's a 300 square foot building, 300 square foot space divided by a 3,000 square foot home. You occupy 10% of the home as your home office. So any of your expenses that your gas or your electric, home improvements like a roof or windows, any of those home improvements, and that calculation, any of the cost of that would be 10% of that could be written off on your home office expense. Okay? Your rents, your mortgage, your insurance, utilities, so on. Yes, right.
What about gifts,
So gifts,
referrals, and I have a third one too, like if you pay for, like, let's say a termite inspection or something like that.
those would be basically your cost of goods. So in order to produce, would you say the inspection, that's just a cost of goods sold, you needed to do that, so that would be written off on your taxes, yes. What was the other one you said?
Gifts.
Gifts. Gifts are kind of like donations. In the business world, when we're putting them into the tax software, anything you write down as a donation is actually to us considered advertising. So it's gonna be an advertising expense. So you can put it in as donation, but your accountant is gonna turn it and put it into advertising. Because that's basically what you're doing. You're marketing yourself, you're advertising yourself as that donation. So if you're donating clothes and stuff, that should be in your personal taxes. Yeah, that's a non-cash donation. So,
Is there a limit to what you can put in as advertising?
advertising, no, but donations $300 for a
300?
300.
That's max.
That's your max as a single person, as a married person, it's 600. So, Excel and tax prep essentials. In Excel, you can keep track of your accounting and budgeting, and your collection and verification of business data, your data analysis interpretations. You can keep track on your spreadsheet, put in your commissions, and have a commission calculation sheet. Record your income, which is your commissions, and any additionals, rentals, maybe rentals. I didn't put that in there, but recording your expenses, your home office, what to report, your space size, how expenses are calculated, putting in auto expenses, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but when you say auto expenses versus mileage, so if I'm making car payments on my car?
No.
Okay.
No, but if you're using your car for business.
Yeah.
Your auto payments are not, but your interest that you pay on that. And so many people just tell us, I do a lot of my bookkeeping for many of the clients that utilize the accounting office, is their bank statements or their credit card statements. And those don't tell me the breakdown of what their car payments were. And if you're an independent contractor and you need that car, you could actually keep track of your interest. Your interest expense could be written off.
If you lease your car versus financing, leases you can only do mileage, correct?
Correct.
Not oil changes, not any other maintenance, correct? Okay.
So no maintenance or repairs.
If you have a business name and that's what you're using, yes, you can do your repairs, your oil changes, you needed wipers, you needed new tires, yes, those expenses can be written off as part of. But typically you would have a business name, you're not working as an independent contractor for a company.
So if you're a corporation or an LLC?
Yes.
So generally for an independent contractor, it's one or the other.
Yep, one or the other. And the same thing with the household, your office. Say you have a small office, but yet you're still working for RE/MAX, but you're working out of your house, but you're paying RE/MAX desk fees. You're either paying your desk fees, you're either writing off your desk fees or your home office. You can't do both. Okay?
And if you have a home office, you need to have it zoned properly. So we have to follow several different entities' laws. And if the IRS comes down and says, you're writing off your home office, but it's not zoned, you can't use this as a office, that's a problem.
Is there a difference between?
Did that change, I thought at one time you could claim a percentage of your home, percentage of your living space if you used that, space, even if you hadn't, like, you work for Remax.
So what I was reading and what we do at the accounting office is so your home office has to be exclusively used. Okay, but if you're not exclusively using it and you are working for Remax and you are paying those desk fees, you can't write off your home. It has to be exclusively that's where
red
you work.
flag.
That's where you work out of. And thanks to COVID, that's the way things have become. If I work for a company remotely, they're out in California and I'm working out of my home in Connecticut, I can't write off my home office. I basically work for that company. So. All right,
But in that case, you're an employee, not an I-9.
Right, you're W-2.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
correct. So a few things that Excel does to help keep us organized. We have, this is a reference, agent commission calculation. This is what we utilize. I actually utilize this to give to our agents, so they know what percentage they're getting and what their total is. So this is like a bill, so you would receive this with your check and save this bill and put it in your paperwork. The other thing I do for the year is I create a folder and I label it 2023 tax papers. And I leave it on the desk, and whenever we go out and we've done something either for the house or anything that cost me for my position or to do my job, at the end of the day, that receipt goes in there, and then I take those receipts and I put it on a spreadsheet as well. So if that's easy for you as well when you're preparing yourself, don't leave them stuck in your pocket or in your wallet or in your pocketbook. Just take them out, and then when you get home, put them in that folder, and at the end of the day, you've got all of your proper expenses right now.
So in the deductions that you mentioned, commissions paid from that spreadsheet, which number do we submit?
Your commissions paid, so if you had, so let's say Brown Group Realty, the commissions that I paid for you, that's an expense. As the company, the commissions I paid to you is an expense for me. It's payroll.
Okay.
So if you had to pay somebody like a referral fee out of your, say you received a $10,000 commission, but out of your commission, you had to pay the referral fee, and the realty isn't going to pay, it comes directly out of yours, then that's an expense out of your business. This is another way to help keep track of what you're paying in referral fees, what you've paid the agents, your balances, what the splits were, your income. This is something that we use as an idea of what we're going to be receiving for income, what expenses are going to be going out as our labor costs or commission costs. So Excel is it's easy to use. I don't use complicated calculations when I do them. It's all simple. It's really all simple.
I'm sorry, one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the commission I give to, the commission they keep from, like my split, can I expense the part that I'm giving to my company?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
that's, no.
She's presenting from from the brokerage side. It's right.
Oh.
It's a little bit of the brokerage,
Yeah.
or if you're,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's how. Yeah.
All right.
Using Excel, you can keep track of general expenses, your household, your charity, or your advertising, your business and food expenses, office supplies, your fees, Connecticut fees, Rhode Island fees, phone, postage, training fees, when your licenses and renewals. This, by the way, this is bills, and this is how organized Bill is.
If you'd like a copy of this, I'm happy to share it with you. All the columns add up, so I basically just hand it into my.
Uses it like a checkbook, and it's fabulous. It really is. And this is what your profit and loss statement would look like at the end of the year. So this is what you want, and to have a decent profit. So all of that information that you get can either, if you're computer literate and you like Excel and you want to plug the numbers into it, utilize Excel, report those numbers to your accountant, and they create this and report it to the government. It's not hard, it's not scary, it's easy to do. If you,
Or you can just use Quicken or QuickBooks and it does it for you.
exactly. So like I said, I have a girl that uses a notebook. I plug everything into QuickBooks, and at the end of the year, and then I produce this, and this is how I report on her taxes. Because it's easier to read.
Yeah.
Because no accountant is gonna go through your receipts and try to figure out what you spent, what you got, what you didn't get.
They may, but they're gonna charge you like $10,000.
Or they're not gonna take your business, because they can't be, they've got too many other things to do, so, yeah. And that's the thing. This is a spreadsheet for mileage. Like I said, I might be using an app, because my spreadsheet like this never gets filled. I don't write it down when I'm in the car, I don't take a picture of it, that's where I lack. But it is useful, it is helpful, and that's part of your tax
If you're
expense.
super cheap and you don't want to pay for an app, Bill could probably send you this. Adds it up every month. You basically just write how many business miles, how many personal miles, and it's all gets done.
Extras, use it for your vendor contacts, your attorneys, the people you use all of the time. Your Be Organized, she would be on my vendor list. Somebody to contact when you come across a client that needs their house cleaned out before they list it. You know, these are certain things that we used. And that's the end of the slideshow already. So, any questions, or do you, comments, things that you do to make your life easier, or is there anything you want to pick my brain about?
I'm a brain picker.
Okay.
You mentioned home improvements. What if you have a busted water main and that gets replaced at the cost of $6,000? Can you take a portion of that?
Yes, because the water comes to your house. If that's, if that's what your home office is extensively just for your business.
That's all it is?
So it's a home improvement, it's a repair.
Okay.
So in order for your house to operate and for you to do business, you need to do, that is a portion of that. Let's say it's 10%. 10% of that 6,000, that's a $600 expense right off your, and that helps reduce your tax liability.
Thank you.
Okay? New doors, new roofs, new windows, really, yeah. Not painting. Painting a house is cosmetic. But if you're doing it it's a major home improvement, then yes. Yes, ma'am.
What about renovations on your house? Like, if it's, let's just say you redo your kitchen, is that considered cosmetic, or is it considered?
I'm gonna call that a cosmetic.
Yeah, okay.
It's to keep the house operational.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you claim a home office, does that make you more likely to be audited?
No,
That's what I've heard.
no. Keep good records. Keep good records. Like I said, each year, the year that home improvement took place, I keep that home improvement in my tax file folder. And at the end of the year, now, mind you, I might work for a tax accountant, but prior to this, I ran 2 businesses for Johnson & Wales, and my husband was a firefighter, and we used a tax consultant, and I still use her. I don't use my tax I don't do my taxes. It makes my husband feel better. But I don't. This woman out of Warwick, Rhode Island does our taxes for us. I don't mind, and we sit and we gab. I buy her breakfast, and we go through the taxes together. But it's important to keep those expenses, like I said, just drop it in a file. You have a manila folder, you have it set up, and you drop it in that file. And at the end of the year, when you finished your taxes and you get your tax return back, keep it all together. So if you do get audited, everything is right there for you. And a business needs to at least keep their files for at least 10 years. Individuals is 7. but it's just to stay organized. You know, you're, as a real estate agent, as an independent contractor, as a hairstylist, it gets reported on your personal income. And you may get 1099s from people. It's all personal income, but if you're a business or corporation, S corp, LLC, it's different. You'll end up with it's handled differently. But I'm just here to help you as an individual to make sure that if you have any questions on how to stay organized, I'm also available. If you ever want to call and you need help, at the end of the year you're scrambling and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I am not organized. I never have been. You want, I work well as a consultant. I'll come and help you straighten out if we need to. So it's not scary. Uncle Sam is not scary. Kind of fun, actually. But yes, sir.
I'm not a realtor, but, I always do everything I do on business in one credit card.
That's a very good idea.
So that way, anything, it's already documented.
Yeah.
End of the month, you can go through and just look at it, mark it, whatever you want to put it at. So it's all there throughout the year. You pull the year-end statement, and you can just go right through the list.
That's
It
exactly.
makes things a lot easier.
You
But you gotta be exclusive. You gotta be very precise on what card you're using for what.
that's particular. And if you know you're going for a business expense, that's the card you use. For me, I have a separate bank account. So whatever commissions or income I've taken in during the course of the year, because we don't pay taxes right away, and at the end of the year, we will have to owe Uncle Sam, that account is set up. I may put 50% in sometimes, I may put 20, or I may put all of it in. And at the end of the year, that's where I hit to pay Uncle Sam my taxes. And that's the only account I use. So I don't, I do have some income coming in to put into the regular checking account, but for the most part, it comes out of its own bank account. Yes, sir.
I'm an Excel nerd. Denise helped me. I actually have my check register in an Excel spreadsheet with all of these things. And you can set it up so that when you register, like you paid with your credit card, you bought Microsoft Office and it was $200. And that automatically goes into the slot for software. And then when you come down, it all organizes it all.
Yep.
I see your eyes glazing over.
Excel.
We are. I have actually written a class for Excel to learn how to do Excel. And that's what this is, a little bit of an introduction
Yeah,
to.
'cause I can't even get the columns
I don't
to
even-
stay. Every time I click it, the column moves, and then I give up because I can't. I'm not very savvy in Excel.
Yeah, it's an amazing program. It's mind-boggling what it can do. And I haven't been using it that long. It's not that difficult. I took over a property management account and things were not very organized. I've got it all on one spreadsheet. I can show you exactly how much income we've made year to date. All the checkbook registers are in there for 2 accounts. And everything goes in, utilities goes in, rent payments go in, everything gets allotted. So basically I just print it out or send a copy to the accountant at the end of the year. And it's done.
It's easy. If you're not QuickBooks savvy and you don't want to use QuickBooks, it's the easiest way to do your finances.
It's Excel.
Excel, Google Sheets. My sons are using Google Sheets now. Actually, they were in the 4th grade. I was telling Stephanie, when my sons were in the 4th grade at St. Rosalina School, they taught me how to use Excel because I was using Lotus 1, 2, 3. And now I've started a job that's using Excel and what am I gonna do? I don't know how to use this program, but they were learning it at school and they taught me the basics and then exploded from there. All right?
You have tax software on that too, but wouldn't, in these cases, tax preparation be able to?
So some people, your tax accountant, your tax costs for your tax account is a write-off. So that's an expense that you can write off. But if you choose to do your own taxes and you use TurboTax or Quicken, anything like that, then yes, that is a tax deduction. Any other questions?
I don't know if this is the right class for this, but could you speak a little bit about independent contractors being you know, LLC or one of those, like, where do we make that decision to incorporate?
That is completely up to you. That is out of my
Oh,
line. Yeah, no, I haven't even, I contemplated that when I first started. Do I just create my own business in an LLC? But then once I started working for the tax accountant, it really wasn't necessary. I'm an independent contractor. I put it on my, I don't want to complicate things, so I just put it on my personal taxes.
So Denise, you don't know if there's tax, you don't know the tax benefits of being an independent contractor versus LLC
On a score,
versus.
You protect yourself if you want to. If you want to create your own business and do that, that's fine. It's just a matter of protecting yourself liability-wise, but you are paying, you know, insurance too, which also protects you, so. It's a personal choice, really. Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The education board, actually, the next several months, we have a number of CE credits coming up for those who have the April date. Directly in there, there'll be, I think, setting that out soon, a nice list of all the different CE credits we'll be offering through February, March, and April. There's at least 2 every month. I think for March has several that we're gonna be doing too as well, so keep an eye on that for anybody who needs those CE credits directly in there, as well as some lunch and learns that we'll also post throughout the month for each one of those. I think we have, we definitely have one about ChatGPT coming up next month.
No, this month.
This month,
2
I'm
weeks.
sorry, yeah, 2 weeks, yeah, correct. Because this month I also have 2 approved in there. And we'll have a class next month too as well, going through our education. I think March is held off just for CEs, and we're just doing CE classes in those months. So those classrooms will be utilized for that. So just keep an eye out for all those posts coming up. As always, our website has the previous lunch and learns on there, so you can use that as a resource to go look up different topic studies that might assist you in your career. That's on there on the website directly. This is online right now. I was just watching. I was making sure Denise stayed within frame the entire time. She did really well until she got to like over here, and then she disappeared. But she did a great job. She did a fantastic job. I do Excel. I utilize Excel too as well. I love it. I am a treasurer for a couple organizations, and I utilize that, especially my year-end reports. In which case, I want to show them where their spending is, and now we can break it down a little bit more. I'm a geek, just like you, Bill. I love Excel. I love all the things you can do with it. The different, color coding, different things, everything's. My accountant actually said, "These look adorable. The different color codes that you have in your sheet." I'm like, I figured it's adorable. It's adorable. So utilize it as much as possible. That app for travel is actually very, very good. It'll ask you, literally send you a message showing that you have something specifically in there to update. It'll ask you all the trips you took in the day. And then if it's a reoccurring trip overall, you can actually name it, and it will just keep popping up and going automatically into the report that you can do at the end of the month or end of the year. And you can do both. Very cool. For $55, I think it is a year, something like that. It's very inexpensive, and it's a great little resource to utilize. I don't do any surveys, unfortunately. So normally we have a survey to fill out.
It's all right, Kathleen.
The Education Committee meets on the second Tuesday of the month at 10 o'clock. If anybody's interested in joining, if you have any ideas of different classes, please let us know. We're always looking for new, fresh ideas of things to do throughout the year. Thank all of you, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.